Again, this is DayTraderRockStar here. This is just a probably maybe a half an hour little research video. Fast. 8 o'clock we got RPM and Trader Spotlight with Keldar coming up. 8 o'clock. That's again maybe well, going to be on a little bit more than half an hour. We still got a ways to go here for that. But even better, I'm going to do some research, just talk some markets, and I'll keep this recording here, and I'll send this out as a podcast too, for those who are not here. So, just and right now, I'm using the TC2000 scans, easy scans, and I've set up a few scans on this. What I call the pullback scan, 60-minute oversold, divergent scans. I work on these. Some of them are not perfect, but some of them are giving me good results. And I've just built all these, over time. And so right now I'm using the 1, 2, 3, 4 pullback scan, and it just basically gives me a tight consolidation and trading near the top part of the range. Let me see, the MDT is the last one. You'll see most of these will all be the same. You see, we're actually trading very strong. This usually gives us really good, strong results. But more of a flag setup. It's definitely after a little move up, a little pullback. I call it a 1, 2, 3, 4 pullback. It picks up about 4 days on pullbacks, and lots of times that's where we see the market kind of push back up from. So I want to get a good feel for those. Coca-Cola today, actually, a good example of that 1, 2, 3 pullback. 1, 2, 3, 4 pullback. Here was one that popped higher off that. Again, Pfizer looks pretty good. Visa, again, very strong. These are all very strong stocks. So just kind of looking at those. Again, Priceline, the same thing. A lot of people involved in the Priceline. How many stocks do I have? I have about 50 of them in this. So we'll go through them. Prudential, Disney, always good. This scan right here always brings me quality setups. Hershey, it's even pretty decent in a wedge pattern. KMB, PSX here has been holding up. TJ Maxx, you gotta love that here. I'm gonna write that one down also as a very strong TJX. I like that a lot. We've traded that one before. So let's see how many we have. 50. So all right, McDonald's, same thing. Simon Property Group here. We've been following this one. It's been trading in a pattern. Same thing here. Hasbro, Dollar General, not much. TMK, Berkshire Hathaway, nice pullback. MetLife, Carnival Cruise Line, extremely strong. Love it. Valero, MasterCard, all right. Royal Caribbean, RCL. And then CVC here, Cablevision. So that's one of the scans here. I'm just going to jump to the other one. I don't know if I'm going to get any. Well, I might get some 60-minute oversold levels. Yeah, I'm definitely getting those. And I'm going to just check this to make sure I'm covering this. This is actually on the S&P 500. It's going to give me a lot of return, a lot of things that return. So I want to change that over to my personal HPS watch list and do the scan with that. And that will give me, more of a tighter thing, and it'll give me some good prices too. So again, what this scan is doing is basically taking it. I'm actually looking at the daily, but because it's a 60-minute oversold, if I push it to the 60-minute time frame, you'll see it. The stochastics will be oversold here. And it enables me to look at the daily and know that the 60 is set up for me. So anything that comes up on the scan, I'll start off with the daily, and then understand that a daily embedded with a 60 rotation, very strong. So this would be a very strong setup right here at Activision. Merck, kind of pulling back, but 60 pulling back. I mean, neutral on that, but again, this is what we're looking at. We know that the 60s pulled back totally. So some of these might look good on the 60s. Some might have a dual setup here where we have a 60 in the daily setup, which is this one, and that comes into play too. And I believe earnings were out on this, so I haven't checked the earnings on that. And Taylor, again, that's had some Active Phillips 66 falling into that category. It's very strong stock with a 60-minute rotation. Because I did the scan, it showed up on this. We'll double check it. You can see that 60-minute nice oversold level here. So that PSX actually looking pretty good. This is a refiner, and even though the daily here is a little shaky, doesn't look bad on the 60. ECL, Echo Labs, and following that one. Here's our Fastenal, which is oversold on the 60 and soon to be oversold on the daily. This has been a disappointment. This is one that I guess I shouldn't have fought as much because it's kind of attached to the oil industry, and the oil industry not doing good. I'm disappointed in that. DirecTV. All right, our CVS, awesome. And you know what's awesome about this? It's coming up on the scan, and it shows us that one candlestick that started off at the highs, closed down at the lows on the 60. Didn't budge the daily here, but you know what that means? The 60 is rotated back fast, just getting oversold, and you know, that's typically, you know, the best you're going to get on a very strong stock. Right now, it looks okay. 69 of these. I'm already up to whatever I'm up to here. What am I up to? $13 General. We'll go through these fast. And lots of times I'm looking at this as a daily 60. Coors daily 60. Kroger strong. Liberty Media. Walmart's starting to rotate back down. Well, I'm not interested in that scan anymore. A couple interesting ones, but I think there's more interesting ones out there. The divergences, you know, top the list. So I haven't looked at the divergences in a while. Let's take a look at them for today. I have a couple good scans that I use. It's off the S&P 500. I think I was just trying to give myself enough. 82 items. Let's see if I can see any of these in the my HPS personal watch list. Oh, all right. So let's stick with that right now. Let's see what these look like. I might not be able to be seeing the divergence. It doesn't show up as good. I have a really better divergence scan, but a lot of these, like Oxy here, nice candle on the daily. I'm not really seeing the divergence on that. This one has the potential here. It's just what's supposed to be is to try to give you a potential, but it's not. It doesn't look like it's giving me much other than some oversold daily and 60 setups. But I have a better lane divergence. Let's go down better lane divergence. I've see that only a few. That's what are we scanning on this? S&P 500 too. So we'll just go with that and see what we can see here. Again, this has been flatlined, so we're not really seeing that divergence on Diamond Offshore. Not seeing it there. Here, Lam Research, possible. You know, possible. You know, semiconductors have been getting hit. I don't know if we fall into that section with Lam, but Corning also giving us that little lower low, possible turn higher here. You can especially see it on the faster time frame underneath us. Right here, you can see it here a little. But no real big moves in that. COG coming up, nothing. Not seeing any divergence. You won't see them. Good thing, you know, I'd rather not see them as much. And when we do see them, we get to look at them. Large engulfing candles, nothing really on that. Let me see why that's. Oh, nothing. My 5-day lane divergence here, something I've been working on, gives me a result of EQT, big candle on the daily. Surprised this doesn't show up as a engulfing pattern. It should have showed up. EQT. Let me double check why that's not. No, not seeing it. Interesting. Well, the last thing I like to do here after I do some of those scans, you know, not seeing anything too good. It's just to go over my basic watch list. I have about 197 stocks that I review every night. Just go through. If you see most of them all the time, we kind of go through them, pick and choose from them, go through them real fast here. You know, the Cabela's. You know, Cabela's came down to that lower trend line. It's going to be interesting, but I give it a few days. Someone brought that up today, CAB. It came up to it today. PSX, again, we talking about that. Nike here, very strong. Palo Alto Networks, very strong. ExxonMobil, very weak. AGN, Helgen, CBS here. Seeing if we could try to turn back up here. It's dangerously right on the lows. Adobe here doesn't look good. So Laboratory Corporation of America, pushing and pushing and pushing. Looks so good for something about this stock. It looks good. Never even came down here. It's really holding good strength. It's just looks fine. $122. LH. We've traded this one before too. I think around here. It's been going up, sideways, but it looks good. It looks really good now. It's just because of the consolidation. Let's go to the next one. UNH here. OIH. Deutsche Bank. Kind of the same. Coles. Been watching it, waiting for it. Nothing going on. It's not a bad one to watch though. KSS. And then the other one was TJ Maxx. TJX. Alright, got that down. Rite Aid. Oh, I want to do Walgreens too. WGA is that? Walgreens and Boots Alliance. Rite Aid looking great for cheapy. Yeah, hey, tight stops. Yeah, doing a little special segment, and then you know, kind of doing some research with you. I'm doing some extra work, extra research, and then Paul's gonna get on at 8 o'clock with Keldar. They're gonna do a trader spotlight at 8. He jumped onto that, you know. So we're gonna have that later on. So yeah, just need that big popping rad here. Hey, what's up, Ubi and Gas? Tight stops in the room. Good to see everyone. Yeah, Mexican margaritas. I am so upset that I didn't take that gamble with you on the Amazon. I'm almost as sick as taking it and losing on it. You know, it's like one of those you'll miss opportunities, but you can't do that. You just can't do that. You miss it, you miss it. There's always other ones out there, but then talking about what's the next big one. Let's take a look at what the next big one is. Like we should have a segment. Like I was talking about doing this earningspoker.com thing, where we have and even doing some call, even using the options on it, just kind of bets. I was saying making it more understandable to everyone out there, just putting shares down on each of the setups. But wouldn't be just putting some calls down on each one or puts. Guessing it's like a little poker game you're playing. And during this season, you could strike big, you could hit big. Especially on these bigger like Amazon, Google, Apple's. There's no doubt about it. There's money to be made. You just have to be on the right side. A little psychology. And we know that most companies kind of they set the bar low this quarter, so it was I don't think it's a big bar to jump over. But let's take a look now at some earnings rest of this week. I mean, what do we have? Monday? Friday tomorrow. Frig that. There's nothing going on tomorrow. Shoot. I'm not going to miss the next one. It is poker. All right, so let's take a look here at the calendar. Let's take a look for tomorrow morning. Anyway, probably would have been some. Curious to see if Ubi's in any of these. AbbVie, ABBV here coming out with earnings tomorrow morning. We have Biogen, BIIB coming out with earnings tomorrow morning. Moody's, no big deal there. Probably the big ones are Biogen and AbbVie. Two interesting ones there. State Street Bank, STT. Then let's go out to July 27th. That's gonna be that's gonna be the 27th. Before the open, July 27th to be Monday. God, July already. Before the market opens, Sohu.com, HOSOHU. RPM International. Don't really trade that too much. So nothing really out there until after the close on Monday. And then we have BIDU, BIDU. Let me write it down here. Monday, BIDU. Not seeing too much else out there. BIDU. BIDU's the one. Monday. Take a look at the chart here. A $200 stock. Not bad. It's a $200 stock. So you're going to move up to 250 on it? I haven't been... Yeah, we'll find something tomorrow. I'll go, just while we're on here, I'm just going to actually look at Tuesday here. Let's just see what's going on Tuesday. Just curious because it's like tight line fever. You can't wait to get your next big whale on the line. All right, so Tuesday before the market opens, July 28th, and then we're coming to the end of July, so we have kind of end of the month scenario playing out too. AKS Steel coming out, AKS, Arch Coal, ACI, Corning, GLW, Cryolife, Cummins Engine, CMI, Ford Motor Company, F, Grubhub, GRUB, Harris, Ingersoll Rand, IIR, Intrepid Potash, IPI, JetBlue, JBLU, be charging for more luggage, and Pfizer, PFE, nice flag on Pfizer, Precision Cast Parts, PCP, United, UPS, Sirius Satellite Radio, SIR, and United Therapeutics, UTHR, but UPS, interesting, Pfizer, I mean, these are not big movers, probably nothing that you could really get those moves out of. There's nothing really big here. At least that is before the open on Tuesday. Let's go to the after the close on Tuesday. Just to throw it out there. That's as far as I'm going to go right now. Alchemy, AKAM, typically a good one. Buffalo Wild Wings, BWLD. How did that's a tough one because I hate that restaurant. I can't. That's one that's going to give you a big move, you know. I would hate to go long that and then for it to go down. I said I knew that piece of crap, but still a pretty decent looking chart there on this one. Buffalo Wild Wings again Tuesday after the close. Express Scripts, Tuesday after the close, ESRX. Gilead Sciences, GILD, Tuesday after the close. NC, what do we have here? What was that? Oh, it disappeared. NCR Corp, National Cash Register, old NCR. Twitter, coming out Tuesday after the close. Twitter, Tuesday after the close. U.S. Steel, also Tuesday after the close. U.S. Steel, Tuesday after the close. Another way of looking at what's left here in the earnings, there's some. If you're looking at what to trade into earnings, you know, the Finviz again. I always go back to that, give them a little credit because they do have a pretty cool site when it comes to these little maps. So I go to. We go to this big map here of the sector map. This is today's action, but you can actually go up here and they change it around a little. Go pull down this thing, you'll see right down at the bottom here. Earnings date right there. And you click on it and it'll actually give you a nice little color-coded map. It tells you after earnings and before earnings. So anything below in the pink, light pink is right before earnings. Anything in the blue, dark blue is after earnings. So these have passed and these are coming. So we can look back here and see, all right, these are coming up. The lighter the pink, or you know, the more brighter the pink, the closer it is to the date. So you can see we still have Facebook to come. Should be a good one. Yeah, Disney. I mean, there's nothing. We're looking at that, you know, those big movers. It's not too much out there. Gilead coming up. All the oil and gas companies. Time Warner, some cable companies. UPS coming up. MasterCard coming up. Ford coming up. Monster Beverage. You know, BIDU. Priceline coming up here. Priceline. What do you think? There's a big one. August. There's one for you. I think there's someone in the room that trades at Priceline. I'm not 100% sure. I think someone out there does. I know that. So futures are open back up here. We're up currently 2 points on ES. 2 points on ES. We're up. Starbucks here trading up at 59.45. Nice bump here on Starbucks after hours. Visa. Nice. Amazon. Nice. 563. Probably traded up in the 570s before the market opens tomorrow. That's my guess. Maybe 575. Maybe even higher. How can you not? How can you not love the Amazon? All right, so tomorrow we're going to be looking at tomorrow we're going to be looking for and at a trade for BIDU. BIDU again, next earnings the 27th after the market, so we have until Monday after the close to do this. Take a look at the earnings here. Let's just take a look back at the earnings on BIDU. And you can see here, they've gone back to the last earnings release. They surprised by 11 cents. I have to look at what's going on with them, how they've reacted to it. Then before that, they surprised minus. They missed by 7 cents. And then before that, they beat by 18 cents. So, and then after that, they beat by 35 cents. Second quarter of last year. They typically looking like they are doing pretty well. Beat by 21 cents, 2 cents. They only lost at one. That was February 11th. February 11th. Let's go out there and just take a look at it. I want to look at what happened to that stock. And Buffalo Wild Wings, the other one's going to move around. Again, we are going to have to deal with that one. BIDU. All right, so what do we have here? April 15th was the last one. They beat by 11 cents. So the 16, we kind of, not much going on there, There wasn't much going on. Date April, April 29th. Sorry, my bad. I was looking at the wrong thing. April 29th. I'm like looking at that. There we go. So here, April 29th, it came out. The next morning, it gapped down pretty well. We went from 218, ended up down here at like 201 on the downside. So, I mean, close to a 20-point move after earnings on that. Easy 15-point move after earnings. That came down to about 200. Now we're trading at 207. I mean, we're back here basically at the same level, at that gap level. The quarter before that, when they, that was on a surprise of 11 cents. That was a surprise of 11 cents. Revenues came in 2053, or what do we have here? Probably 2.05 billion. and consensus was for 2.07 billion. So they actually revenues came in underneath consensus. So they missed on revenues. They missed on revenues, and they typically miss on revenues. They're going out the last 3 quarters here. The only quarter they actually beat on the revenues was on July 24th, 2014. They beat on the revenues. They had revenues year-to-year growth 58%. Take care, everyone. For those going out to dinner, have a good one. I might join you. If you tell me where you are, I'll come down right now. Get on the old Rockstar plane. Just kidding. But I guess I should go get something to eat before Paul gets on the air. I actually have a little more research to do. I want to get a couple more setups out there. So we got some music playing for you. A little research. I'm still doing some research now. Got some Zeppelin playing. Let's see if I want to go back here to, they missed on the revenues here too. That was February 11th. February 11th. Let's go out there, February 11th. You can see here, February 11th, the next day gap down. Moved back up a little, but pretty much gap down. So revenues did not beat, it gap down. Low on the day here, closed on the lows. It's 214, it gapped down the lows on the next day here at 299, so another 15 point move. 15 point move after earnings on this one. Gapped right down to a trend line, bounced and then chopped around. So again, we go back out where we are right now, and not, you know, I feel like people are itching for big moves though. See, we could go out to they missed the revenues October 29th. Let's see if we can, how far we can go out on this. So October 29th, they missed revenues, but it did rally though. It kind of started off lower and then rallied. It was a nice rally. It went from the lows $222 to the highs $237. Not bad. A 15 point move. You getting this? Last 3 quarters it made a 15 point move. 15 point move, just about exactly the last 3 quarters. After all is said and down, from the lows to the previous day to the lows or highs of the day before, after earnings. 15 point move. So that was that. And then the day, that was an what was that? That was October 29th. They had actual came in at $1.90, surprised by 18 cents. A year ago, revenue was 2.2 billion versus 2.211 billion. 2.203 billion versus 2.211. So the revenues were a little lower. Then when we beat the revenues here, that was July 24th. I don't know if we could go all the way back to July. But here, a big move here. You can see we beat the revenues here. It's all about beating on the revenues. Look at the move here. Went from 201 to 226. 25 point move. 25 point move on beating those revenues. That brought us up to $226. $226. Where are we today? We're at $207. So what do you think? You know, definitely, if they blow it out, they blow it out. You know, if they beat on revenues, I could see this pop in here. You know, at least 20 points. at least 20 points, get up here around that 230, 225 to 230 area. 225 to 230 area on BIDU. I wonder if I have my old quotes, if I could still grab some quotes on this. And that's earnings out after the thing. Would you play close in the money to take that gamble? July 31st, 31s. What were we looking at? I'll move up to 220. All right. So July 31st. All right. So we're looking at the 220s. We're trading at about 340. Some good volume on these too. Really good volume today on all these Julys. The big one was the 210s. Trading about 670. 210s were at about 670. And then we have the 225s, about $2.41. 225s, $2.41. All right, I'm on board. I hope everyone's on board next week. We'll talk about this one probably more tomorrow and Monday. All right, well, let me pause this and send out. That's a little research session there. We're going to have again a special trader spotlight coming up at 8 o'clock. I'll be here until then, but I might be in and out. I might grab some dinner before that. But until then, I want to try to get some more setups out for you. So hang in there. Listen to DayTraderRadio.com. Yes.